You know, when I was younger, I thought greening out was a myth. It was definitely a scary myth, right? But I thought it was like a boogeyman, a Slender Man, or a Aerobrine. Basically, I thought it was just an urban myth to make sure first time potheads weren't ODing left and right. Oh boy, I learned hard one day that it is indeed a real thing. We were partying like a bunch of teenagers normally would, right? Passing the bong around, getting our hits in. Then a buddy of mine tries calling me out, going, "Hey yo, you ain't ever greened out before, huh?" I'm like, "Nah, man, that ain't real. Y'all just a bunch of lightweights." Can't talk until it actually happens to you, bro. It's something else, I tell you. Ain't no way, bro. I'll show you right now. I snagged that bong from my friend's hand. I was huffing and puffing like the big bad wolf coming to blow down the pigs' houses. My friends were counting me on every hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After a while, I couldn't hear their voices. I was in my own little world. You know, it hit me. I was in my own little world. Just me alone in the world. It's only me. That was the most crushing feeling I had. It was like everything was gonna end. Like if I took one more hit from that bong, it would all just be over. I stopped moving and just looked around at all my buddies, and I was thinking about them too. I was like, you guys are also in your own little world, huh? Isn't that lonely? They were looking at each other and just started laughing their asses off. It was that moment that they knew that I finally greened out. They waved me over, told me to come sit down with them. It was all in the fun of it, but I know they probably knew I was gonna collapse sooner or later. So I started walking over to them, and let me tell you, that first step was the heaviest step I've ever taken in my life. Not just the first step, but every step it took me to get to the sofa, which was like only 5 or 6 steps. When I got to the sofa, I wasn't even thinking about sitting down properly. I just fell over. I felt like Kratos finally taking the plunge with Aerosmith playing in the background. The worst part about the fall was that it felt as if I was falling forever. As if I was in a portal and somebody put a portal below and above me and I was just falling for eternity. That shit was horrifying. I plummeted into that sofa face first and my buddies were laughing their asses off. "Hey bro, you alright?" I was saying something, but it was muffled because my face was still planted into the sofa. "Come on bro, say something." It was a little louder this time, but still muffled, so my friend decided to turn me over, and boy was he surprised. What he found was me crying, bawling my eyes out. As much as we smoke weed over and over again, at some point it gets used up, right? And then you gotta switch it out with some new stuff. That's kind of just like life. We start getting used and smoke up. Eventually we're getting replaced by something newer. I looked over at my friends. It's game over, man. It's game over. I held myself in a fetal position and just started crying even more. It's game over, man. It's game over. My friends told me I was repeating that phrase over and over again until I eventually passed out. I woke up, felt the worst that I've ever felt after smoking. I felt fatigued, I could barely move my arms and legs. I had a rocking headache. My roommate saw me lumbering in the morning. He was laughing at me hard. "You finally greened out?" "Uh-huh." And that was my first time greening out.